Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading before you got here. I've been waiting patiently. Thanks for being patient with me. And you know what? We've read the first chapter, second chapter, and the third chapter. We're gonna read the fourth chapter today. And do you remember where Annie went? She went into the castle, and that's the title of this chapter. The title of the whole book is The Night at Dawn. The chapter title is Into the Castle. So there's a lot to remember. A lot to remember. You have to be really super duper smart. I'm going to hurt her, muttered Jack. Well, that's a lose lose. Take a belly breath, Jack. He threw his stuff into his pack and moved toward the drawbridge. He hoped no one would see him. It was getting darker. It must be night. When he got to the bridge, he started across. The wooden planks creaked under his feet. He peered over the edge of the bridge. Were there any crocodiles in the moat? He couldn't tell. Halt! Someone shouted. A guard on top of the castle wall was looking down at him. Jack dashed across the bridge. He ran through the castle gate and into the courtyard. From inside the castle came the sounds of music, shouting, and laughter. Jack hurried to a dark corner and crouched down. He shivered as he looked around for Annie. Torches lit the high wall around the courtyard. The courtyard was nearly empty. The boys led horses that clopped over the gray cobblestones. Nay! Jack turned. It was the knight's black horse. Psst! He peered into the darkness. Do you know what peered means? It means you look. He looked into the darkness. He peered into the darkness. There was Annie. She was hiding behind a well in the center of the courtyard. She waved at him. Jack waved back. He waited till the boys and the horses disappeared inside the stable. Then he dashed to the well. I'm going to find the music, whispered Annie. Are you coming? Okay, Jack said with a sigh. They tiptoed together across the cobblestones. Then they slipped into the entrance of the castle. Noise and music came from a bright room in front of them. They stood on one side of the doorway and peeked in. The feast in the great hall, whispered Jack. He held his breath as he stared in awe. A giant fireplace blazed at one end of the noisy room. Antlers and rugs hung on the stone walls. Flowers covered the floor. Boys in short dresses carried huge trays of food. Dogs were fighting over bones under the tables. People in bright clothes and funny hats strolled among the crowd. Some played funny-shaped guitars. Some tossed balls in the air. Some bounced swords on their hands. That's dangerous. Men and women dressed in capes and furs sat at long, crowded wooden tables. I wonder which one is the knight, said Jack. I don't know, whispered Annie, but they're eating with their fingers. Suddenly someone shouted behind them. Jack whirled around. A man carrying a tray of pies was standing a few feet away. Who art thou? He asked angrily. Oh man, he needs to take a belly breath. Jack, squeaked Jack. Annie, squeaked Annie. Then they ran as fast as they could down a dimly lit hallway. Oh. Chapter 5 we'll have to read tomorrow, and it's called Trapped. So Jack and Annie have been in Frog Creek, Pennsylvania, in the Frog Creek woods. Then they were in the treehouse. Then they were in the treehouse in the time of castles. Now they're inside a castle. So the setting is changing for where they are in the book. All right, boys and girls. Well, tomorrow is chapter 5. And that means we're halfway through the book. Whew. I hope you're enjoying it, because I'm enjoying it. I just hope Jack and Annie do a win-win, and I hope they stay safe. All right, goodbye.